Hello and welcome to our next post on the brain. I want to talk today about the stress response, the fight or flight mode. Let's just remind ourselves of the three parts of the brain. We talked about the reptilian brain here in the brainstem. This is the primitive survival brain, which controls the things our bodies do automatically, including those automatic reactions that we are calling fight or flight. We then talked about the limbic system, which is here in the middle part, and that's mainly concerned with emotions and feelings. Some people call it the emotion brain. And then we talked about the newest part of the brain, the neocortex, and that's the clever thinking part of our brain which makes sense of the external world for us. So how does our brain usually work? Well, it's important to know that information from the external world does not go straight to the neocortex. No, it actually goes to a structure within the limbic system called the thalamus. That's in the middle part. When the thalamus believes the situation is okay, then it sends information on to the right part of the neocortex to work out what to do about it. Sometimes it's just neutral information, but sometimes it might be something to get emotional about. If we need to get emotional, the cortex will send the information to the amygdala in the middle part, the emotional part of the brain that creates feelings and actions. And so we then react appropriately to that stimulus from the external world. So this is what happens when life is humming along and it's all very peaceful. But if the thalamus believes that what is happening is a big threat, it reacts differently. It ignores or bypasses the thinking part of the brain here, and it actually sends information straight to the amygdala, the emotional part. The amygdala then sends signals to the reptilian brain to make us react, triggering the so-called fight or flight reflex. We react like this before we're even conscious of it. Now, these basic processes were really useful to our ancestors who needed to respond, take immediate action in serious threatening situations. But what's happening today is many of us are living with an overactivation of the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight mode. And it's as if the body is reacting constantly to an external threat that never goes away. And this chronic activation is causing all sorts of physiological and psychological health issues for us. So in the written post, I'm going to write about one powerful practice that can actually bring your nervous system back into balance.